chocolate muffin. Oh, that's good. Oh no, you hurt? Alright, everyone, gather around in this circle. Create a little circle. Well, a big circle, because we're a lot. It's time we start the class. Alright. So, welcome to a beginner Allosaurus class. Food and water will be provided by Shiba, who joined us today, and our lovely profile creator, deinonychus, who will be helping us with some interactions and examples. Before we start, I like to quickly explain what a beginner class is and what the plans are, in case we have any newcomers in here. So, a beginner class is when an acting coach, or multiple, will go over the entire profile from top to bottom and answer questions in between. So I'll pause in between sections so you are able to ask questions. We're now read the whole profile. All questions can be asked at the end if anything pops into mind. I will also leave about 20 minutes to half an hour open for questions at the end and a chance to prove your acting skills from what you've learned. I would also like if all of you to act out certain behaviors while I read the profile, mostly so you can better your learning experience. Of course, examples will be provided as well. Lastly, I will be recording a class. I'm hoping it doesn't poop itself like it did last time. And it will be uploaded to Discord so that others have a chance to learn from this class. Are there any questions? No? I'm recording as well, just as... Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. All right, if there's no questions, I will start reading the profile. So, Allosaurus, also known as different lizard or allo. It's an intermediate profile. Author is Deinonychus 65. We're a carnivore, so we like meat. We're large, so we usually are laid back most of the time. We're diurnal. We are active during day. Monogamous. We take one partner at a time. We're also aloof. We like our own species. We're also terrestrial. Oh, sorry. We're terrestrial. We like land, solid ground, and water. We're territorial. We claim areas. We're pursuit hunters. We like when our prey runs. And we're a mobber. We are able to join mobs. In a pair consist of one adult male and one adult female. Unlimited offspring. We don't have any ranks. Our preferred biome are all terrestrial environments. Dimorphism. Males have vibrant crests, faces, and/or throats. Our mob list is huge herbivores or huge omnivores. Our nesting limit during wet season is 3 eggs every 2 hours per pair. And nesting limit during dry season is 2 eggs every 2 hours per pair. Does anyone have questions about tags? What's aloof again? We basically shy? Yes, aloof is basically you prefer your own species. You don't like other dinosaurs. I have a question regarding us not caring for smaller packs of dinons actually, or like small raptors. Yes, we'll get to that later. It would be best if the questions are related to what I'm reading, so it's just easy to keep track of questions in general, so it doesn't get buried. Aloof has also to do with cannibalization. Is that right? Yes. There's a part in Profile that explains that for Allosaurus. If a female has a brightly colored body but dull crest, is it alright? It depends how brightly colored it is. You could be mistaken for a male, but usually the color should be around crests, faces, or throats. So it depends really. If you have a picture, I can definitely see. Can I put a female skin in class chat and can you confirm it looks female? Yeah, of course. Let's see. Yeah, let's see that as a female, definitely. Chicken. Can males have brighter bodies if the skin doesn't have an exclusively crest or throat color? I'll send an example. Yeah, that would be perfect. Oh yeah, you're all free to put your skin in the class chat. Yeah, I definitely see it as a male bloody cradles. This color around the face and head area. So definitely male. Ooh, these are some pretty skins. Yeah, shape theory. That would show like a male skin. Which one looks more female? Um, the second one. Yeah, the headpiece is not as bright. Does this look male? I wouldn't say so, no. There's no color. Yes, the second one is female Phoenix Fire. All right, if there's no more questions regarding note or attacks, I will move on to note. So, Allosaurus grouping should be an unrelated male and female Allosaurus that are either in the process of courting or have already courted. They cannot regroup with any siblings when older than subadult or any offspring once those offspring are chased out at subadulthood. Cannibalism in Allosaurus is usually reserved for juveniles or heavily injured, death-scarred individuals that an Allosaurus comes across. Beating another Allosaurus handily in a challenge is the most common way this cannibalism occurs, but it can also happen during mobs and in not yet bonded pairs if one becomes heavily injured, setting upon the wounded individual to sate their hunger. Cannibalism by an unbonded partner can happen in the group, and cannibalism during active mob will end the mob. Fully bonded pairs that have nested won't cannibalize their partners, however. Are there any questions about notes? No questions? All right. Ooh, we have a herbivore. Well, let's pretend it's a huge herbivore, right? We're looking at it. Like, what is it? And we're hungry, right? So what's the first thing we would do? If we're gonna, yeah, broadcast. We're about to do a mob. We want to lure Allosaurus in. We're gonna surround it by broadcasting. Be intimidating. So mobs are usually not coordinated, right? So lots of aggression or hissing from other Allosaurus can happen. Yeah, friendly fire can definitely happen. It's chaos. We're hungry. Oh, someone died? Oh no. Don't we continue? No, once a body drops, the mob ends. Round two, just kidding. Let me get you back, Coop. Alright, back to the spot we go. Our cozy little spot. Oh, there's no water? We need some water pretty please. Alright, maybe we can do a little better coordinated mob at the end of the class, so I can show another outcome. Very pretty fish. Are we ready to move on to early life, everyone? Perfect. Let's keep chat to questions so we don't bury. Alright, early life. Allosaurus hatchlings are quickly on their feet after hatching, chasing each other around the nest and exploring their surroundings together, nearly inseparable early in life. Offspring are devoted to their parents and stick close to their side when not exploring. As they grow older, Allosaurus are taken along for hunts to learn and eventually participate in adolescence, also helping their parents intimidate opponents during challenges. By mid-adolescence, their juvenile friendliness is slowly replaced with the adulthood of mistrust of their species, and they often begin snapping at their siblings and keeping space between them and their parents. When they reach subadulthood, they're chased from their territory, and the siblings split off to form their own territories. If they meet their siblings or parents again, they treat them as they would any other Allosaurus. That was early life. Does anyone have questions? Wait, what age does the hunting start? Adolescent. Yes. So before that, you're usually like kept in the back in bushes, and at adolescence, you are taking along for hunts and help intimidating. Even the observing? What do you mean? Like, do you observe during adolescence? Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. They observe in juveniles when they're juveniles. Can definitely observe, but then they can also hide in bushes. It's when they reach adolescence is when they really participate. Do young nibble as play? You can definitely like nibble, but I wouldn't use attacks because that hurts. But accidents can definitely happen. Usually you wanna chase around practice play fighting, prey, for example, but you wouldn't actively hurt them. If there's no more questions, I will move on to general behavior. Oh. Do either gender play more than the other, slash act more dominant as babies? No, they would be acting the same. There's no specific gender acting. Both female and males would want to play and stuff like that. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to type it out and I'll get to it. General behavior. While they prefer more open areas, Allosaurus will gladly travel and live in forests. They prefer to hunt and fight in more open areas to better keep track of their target, but use the tree line as cover to keep an unseen eye on other animals. Allosaurus often set up their territories in clumps of forest bordering these open areas, as the shelter of the trees provides a hidden away spot to rest. Most of Allosaurus' day, aside from hunting, is spent searching for, claiming, and maintaining a suitable territory. These territories contain a secure den site for the Allosaurus to return to, but since these areas are in high demand, an Allosaurus will often claim a small area away from prime hunting grounds. As such, Allosaurus often range out from their territories to search for food before returning with full stomachs. And this traveling hunting period is when mobs are most likely to occur. During downtime, Allosaurus love to rest in the shade, sometimes chasing smaller things away from good spots, as long as it doesn't take much effort. In the dry season, the heat often gets to them, especially during their travels, so they will stay in the cover of trees and pause to rest in the shade much more often. Does anyone have questions about general behavior? Can you bully your siblings? You can definitely play bully them, but just remember that you're very close to your siblings. Share a very strong bond early in life. How big is their territory? It depends how much you can keep up with. Usually, you want to claim a smaller part of your territory if there's a lot of territories already claimed, and then separate that with the hunting ground that you would not protect like you would for your own little spots. Question about mob. Say if you're alone and you come across another dino you can mob, and it's just another lone allo you're not grouped with, would you be able to mob with them, or does it have to be multiple allos? No, you can definitely mob with only 2 allos. You would want to broadcast first to indicate that you're starting a mob, and then you'll be able to join in. So it doesn't have to be more than 2 or more than 3. If there's another allo, you can definitely mob with them. Is it only considered a mob when the other second allo is ungrouped / mated with you? It's considered a mob when you're not grouped up with them. Like, for example, if you have a bonded partner, or if you're in the process of courting your partner, it's not considered a mob. A mob only starts when you broadcast to lure other ungrouped Allosaurus. During a mob, could you possibly watch another allo of the opposite gender and consider them worth a mate if you decide to court? Definitely. You can definitely, simply because they fight good. Yeah, you can definitely, try to court them afterwards. Keep in mind that in a mob, um, they're most likely only focused on taking down the prey, so they might show a little aggression here and there or hissing at you, which a male shouldn't do when they're trying to court. So maybe right in the mob, it wouldn't make much sense to court there, but afterwards. What if a male thinks another male is a female and tries to court him, or perhaps the reverse? If there's the same gender trying to court each other, they will most likely find out like soon enough they won't be able to group up or pair. For example, if a male finds another male, the courting ritual is different for them, right? A male will act submissive, so if both of them act submissive, they wouldn't be able to continue. When in a hunting ground, if you come across another pair of Allosaurus, we're also in a hunting ground, not a HG or T. What does that mean? Oh, hunting. Oh, I've learned something new today. We're also in a hunting group, we're not in a territory. Would you still be intolerant, or would you steer clear of them for mobbing purposes, or would they chase them out? It depends if there's a prey that you can mob there. For example, a pair will most likely try to like ignore you if there's another Allosaurus, unless you're trying to mob together. So you wouldn't be as like you can definitely like be tolerant if it keeps a fairly good distance. But otherwise you don't like others that come like near you. Especially if you're in a pair. When in a possible mob situation, are you able to send a message in local to make intention to mob clear as an ungrouped allo? I might hear another allo won't call us a threat before a challenge. Well, broadcast indicates a mob, but I believe there's also a rule that you can stay in local if you're indicate like a challenge or a hunt, I believe. Oh yeah, of course. Does that answer your question, Coop? Awesome. Like give a wide berth and avoid? Yeah. Alright, moving on to social behavior. Due to their aggressive nature outside of hissing at another that gets too close during a mob, an Allosaurus' only social interaction is done with parents and siblings as juveniles or potential mates as adults. Bonded pairs will frequently engage in behaviors such as cuddling and roaring matches to reinforce their connection. While these loud displays use a variety of roars and often sound aggressive, there's no malice behind it. It's a way for the pair to show the other that they're still fit and send a message to other carnivores in the vicinity. Unbonded pairs who are still testing their partner are often distant, not yet having the bond that lets them remain close. Roaring matches and cuddling begin as they become accustomed to each other, but are done sparingly, especially since physical contact in their early stages can elicit an aggressive response. As long as an Allosaurus can pull its weight, conditions like albinism are usually ignored, though males without a proper display color won't reliably be treated as such. Bonded pairs will care for a partner that becomes ill or severely injured, bringing them food to help them recover. Infertile individuals aren't discovered until repeated attempts at clutches, and thus the pair bond is already solidified. Conversely, a not yet bonded partner will often abandon an individual that is incapacitated for too long, assuming it doesn't cannibalize a suitor on death's door. Does anyone have questions about social behavior? Yes, hissing is the question mark emote. Will 3 calls count and not start a challenge? No, a 3 call will start a challenge. You would wanna use the hissing call or broadcast when you're entering roaring matches. Any more questions, perhaps, about social behavior? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Alright, I think we're safe. Okay, moving on to aggression. Despite often being out hunting, Allosaurus are meticulously territorial. While in their territory, they will thoroughly patrol and rub on trees to mark their scent. If the odds of size and/or numbers are in their favor, Allosaurus will run off any medium or larger carnivore on sight. If not, they will keep track of the intruders until they have a chance to attack, either hunting it outright or taking advantage of weakness to chase it away. Allosaurus will usually tolerate small carnivores in their territory, even larger packs of raptors. This is in part to niche partitioning, but also because trying to oust the small and agile carnivores is often more hassle than it's worth. When a pair is nesting, however, small carnivores are included in the regular territorial habits, especially if they're close to the den site. This territorial behavior is heightened immensely against others of their species due to competition over prime territory locations. Territorial fights between Allosaurus start off via posturing and roaring to intimidate the opponent. If it escalates, the fight turns into a whirlwind of snapping fangs and slashing claws. A particularly one-sided victory often results in the heavily injured loser being cannibalized if they're unable to escape quickly enough. Does anyone have questions about aggression? Let's see. So what if it's your inactive hours when an intruder? If it's during nighttime and you can't hunt them, because I believe, it's if they're below subadults, you're able to hunt them. But if it's during nighttime, you would want to keep an eye on them since you can't hunt. Yes. Would Allos be more inclined to like Astros since they try to lead bigger carnivores to things they can't hunt? Well, there's no species that you are more welcoming, I suppose. You wouldn't be able to think, oh, this species, I like these species because they do this. Last time I nested, I had compy swarmers in our corpse. They cleaned us. Will we tolerate them? No, it's not described in profile to let them clean you or have any relationship. Yeah. Some. Thanks for the clean toes. Oh, they really weren't worth chasing either though? Too small? Yeah, if they're small, then you wouldn't want to chase them around unless you have offspring. What if they swarm us, attack us? If they're small, can we attack them? Oh yeah, if they're being aggressive, then yeah, you can definitely pursue them. You wouldn't wanna have aggressive smalls in your territory. If they're being threatening and trying to hunt you, then you would want them out. If there's no more question, I will move on to hunting instinct. Allosaurus prefer bulkier prey when hunting, grappling onto their target to open wounds and bleed them out. Once the prey has been injured, they will often begin roaring to spook the prey into running and losing more blood, tracking it over distance as it tires. While not the best at outright chases, they'll often sprint after a target if they get spotted early. Pairs will attempt to surround the prey to cut off escape and make it harder for the target to react to the ambush. At times, usually when hunting takes them out of their territory, Allosaurus will call others into the area to mob huge herbivores or omnivores. The mob is unruly and uncoordinated, often antagonizing each other as the hunt progresses. If successful, the mob will hesitantly share the plentiful kill. If an Allosaurus is heavily injured during the mob, hunger and aggression may cause another party to turn on them instead. This cannibalism ends the mob, and the remaining Allosaurus will fight over the kill. Do we have any questions about hunting instinct? No questions? We feeling confident? Not a question, but someone is wanting a VP and ask if they're able to get one. Yeah, TPs are over. Did you do courting yet? No, we're getting there. Alright, moving on to courting. Because of their intraspecific aggression, forging a bond with a potential partner is a long and delicate affair. When two receptive Allosaurus of opposite genders meet, the female will approach, spreading her arms wide and making a guttural hiss instead of acting outright aggressive. In response to this display, the male must fight his instinct and act submissive, turning to keep his vulnerable side to the female to show intent while she paces around. If satisfied, the female will warble at him and the two will begin traveling together. Despite this, the pair are still very much odd with each other, this dislike of others of their species still deeply rooted in their behavior. The instinct to have offspring is what causes a male and a female to pair, but to do so, they must make sure the other is a good partner. Both genders test each other rigorously over a long period of time, observing the other during hunting and how they act in general. While both may be standoffish at first, often sleeping separately and squabbling over food, they will begin to relax around each other, letting the other closer and beginning to actually socialize and cooperate more fluidly. This developing social bond is a product of unnecessary pairing, not the cause. Several pairings may fail before a successful bond due to incompatibility. When this happens, some may choose to just leave, but they will often fight over territory, with the winner chasing the other off. In some cases, usually after one too many hunts or challenges where their partner is heavily injured, one Allosaurus will decide they're too weak or brash to pair with for life and outright cannibalize their suitor. A pair will only nest once they're fully bonded, trusting their new mate enough to stay with them for life. Bonded pairs will stay together until death, working in tandem to hunt, provide for their offspring, and protect their territory. The death of a partner causes a long mourning period, after which the survivor may attempt to find another mate. Any questions about courting? What is warbling? Yes, it's the two call. How long the courting and how do they test each other? The courting can go on for like 2 days, even more, depends how you both feel. It's a long process, so it should take a while. And how do they test each other? So they would try hunting together. For example, you can observe how they hunt or provide you with food. For example, critters is a good way to show that you're strong and healthy and able to hunt. Even both of you, when you're hunting together, you can see how strong and healthy they are if they're able to keep up with a hunt. Can we act it out? Do you mean the courting part? Yeah, of course. Maybe if all of you can pick a partner, 2 and 2. What if a male is unable to fight his instinct and attacks the female attempting to court him? Yeah, she would not want him. She would probably fight back and be mad. A male that outright attacks a female, wouldn't that be initiating a hunt, which they can't do only non-death guards? Yeah, they can't hunt another Allosaurus if they're not on death guards. What if multiple females or males show up and attempt to court the same allo? Yeah, there's no mention that in profile, and you don't fight over mates. So I think that could be also a really good addition to profile, mentioning a multiple. In a failed courting, the male that can't fight his instincts would have to 3-call first, if I'm understanding correctly. Yeah, you would want a 3-call to start a challenge if you don't want the female. Do we have any more questions about courting? Alright, moving on to the last section, offspring rearing. Once bonded and in a suitable territory, the pair will nest, guarding the eggs in a sheltered den site. With eggs and hatchlings, one partner will often stay behind to watch the territory while the other goes out to hunt. Offspring are kept in the den site until juvenile, and are hidden in nearby bushes during hunts until adolescence. Both genders will defend their offspring at any cost, regardless of the odds. While doting parents, Allosaurus usually have little patience for offspring that can't keep up and may leave them behind if the child repeatedly wanders off or doesn't respond when the parents move. This form of brutal parenting forces the child to keep up or find their way back, ensuring only fit offspring reach adulthood. During hard times, such as the dry season, pairs may only have one child hatch, and in this case, their already high parental instinct is pushed even further, putting all their resources into making sure the single offspring survives. And that was the offspring rearing. Do we have questions about that? What are you guys mad about? stealing each other eggs? But yeah, there's no questions about offspring rearing. Are aloes more likely? Are aloes more likely to abandon offspring during dry season, even if they weren't wandering excessively? So in dry season is when you usually focus really, like you focus on your offspring a lot more. Especially if you have one offspring. But if they're not wandering away, then you would still care about them. Like say there's a runt or there's an obviously stronger, more viable offspring. Yeah, like limited resources. If they're desperate, extremely low hunger, starving for, would they eat weaker offspring? I mean, it's not described in profile to eat their offspring. Oh. So, do we feel confident about the profile? Do we want to act out something, maybe? I want to act out courting again. Yeah! Can we do another mo? Oh, yes. Alright, let me find you path. So a female would want to hiss to the male so that he can show his vulnerable side, right? Everyone showed up and got in the way. Oop. Can also crouch to show even more submission. Is allo submission similar to Deiniraptor submission? I'm not too familiar with that profile, so I'm not sure. Are we all confident in recording? Awesome. So, how about one last mob before we end the class? Maybe Shiba can come as a... what creature? Bring Argent? Oh, I think Argent is a bit too big. Let's bring a Dinoc, a duck. That's a huge herbivore or omnivore. Chicken legs, yeah. We ride together, we die together. Where is the tasty chicken? A chicken has been spotted. Oh, someone died. Oh my goodness, so loud. You became a pancake to the ducky's foot, oh no. They have big feet and they do not lie. Oh, if the prey recalls after broadcast, but before hunt has started, what to? Yeah, then it's a challenge. Now we can cannibalize chicken? Yes, if there was no body down and you were still in the mob, you can turn and murder a death scarred individual. But let's try not to kill more bodies now. But yeah, are we confident? Are we happy? Amazing. Well, then you're all free to go. Thank you for joining. The mob confusing? How so? Also, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Well, if a body drops, we stop, right? Yes. You guys are allowed to be grouped up if you're under sub, yeah. When you reach sub, then you have to split off. What if we want to court each other when we're subs? You can definitely do that if you're the opposite gender. But if a person is low, even then when we don't kill them, or if body is down, it's only when the body is down. If there's a deathly, or if there's a heavily injured death scarred individual, but you decide not to kill them, then you continue the mob. It's only when the body drops. But yeah, take care everyone who's leaving. Oh no, it's totally okay. No, no, they can only cannibalize you if you are death scarred, right? But that is if they're choosing to do so. Like they don't have to cannibalize you. They can continue to mob the, let's say the duck here. They can continue to mob the duck. Um, it's only when, for example, let's see if you spot a death scarred individual in the mob, and you're like, well, I'm gonna murder this one instead, and the body drops, and then the whole mob will end because that Allosaurus body just got dropped, right? Am I? I think I'm. Yeah. Yeah, of course. But yeah, you're all free to go. Yeah, my pleasure. But yeah, take care, everyone.